Hail, adventurer! I am Bruin the Bard, spinner of stories, seeker of adventure. Allow me to welcome you to the Caelid Coast, haven to the wise and wicked. These brave soldiers, the finest of the Alfar armies, they escorted me all the way from Melsenshire to these verdant lands. Alas, our journey together has come to an end. But there is still adventure to be had, so join me. If not, then I bid you fair warning. Your journey shall be far less exciting without this storyteller at hand. Ah, yes. It has been nearly a decade since I have told tales for an audience, and I seek to reclaim that trade. These soldiers have been of no help. Fight, fight, fight. That's all they think about. So please, let me regale you with tales of the Caelid Coast. I will make sure your time is well spent, and there may even be a twist at the end. I had a good feeling about you. Someone who cherishes a good story. Let us proceed. The first stop on our tour begins across the bridge behind me. Alas, there is one small problem. That area is favored by our enemies. If you can clear the area of them, I will follow and join you. We must clear the spot ahead of Bolgan. It is a famous place, and they sully it with their presence and their stench. The wonderful gentlemen and ladies of the Alfar armies have been kind enough to act as my loyal escorts, all the way from Melsenshire, and before that, Erethel. Without these good, hearty folk, I never would have survived. The voyage across the sea would have been enough to sink my spirits. Brune was the name given to me by my mother, a lovely daughter of the full moon. Her skin like the glow of alabastra. Long ago, I was the court bard of Castle Gastir, the teller of tales, the spinner of stories. But when the Bolgan invaded, well, they had no need of my expertise. This lush land was once the royal domain of two great Alfar families, the Ancillas and the Gastirs, the most powerful of bloodlines and the most bitter of enemies. For centuries, the two houses warred over the coast. So enamored were they with each other that they blinded themselves to the real threat. And so the Bolgan came and conquered. The houses fell before them. One might say they were toppled by their pride. Lord Aaron Gastir was a very wealthy lord and a powerful landowner. I don't care to speak much more on the subject, thank you. Goodbye. I will remain here while you clear the way. I'm of no use again. Good. Goodbye. You look familiar.
Through the woods and mountainside, through the hollows and green meadow, through the summer, winter, day and night, through the hallowed halls of season and soul, through the valleys of
The Tuatha are on the run. Good work. Plus, it's much more pleasant here without Gadflow bellowing at me from all corners. But enough pleasantry. Are you prepared for your reunion with Ventrinio? Very forthright of you. I'm sure he'll be very reasonable. He probably won't even ask why you're back from the dead. Just make sure he lives long enough to get us into Alabastra, and you can count on my help. He's a worm, but a useful one. Octian took quite a risk setting him up in Cluracan. Must have made a lot of deals to keep him safely hidden away. Sidon's band of merciless Fae with lifetimes of training and everything to fight for? Yes, I think they'll be quite useful allies indeed. I've heard tales of his work, half trickster, half spirit of vengeance. Danistar is almost perfectly defended. Ventrinio could keep an army off of its shores. Good thing we found another way there. Of course! This is bound to be informative. I'm just disappointed I never had a chance to see the original Well of Souls. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow to offer you. By all means, be my guest.
Good luck with the gnome. Especially if you plan on killing him. Right this way, and we can walk the shadow to Danistar Island. Stand in the pool of shadow, close your eyes, and touch the tree. I'll take care of the rest. Don't open your eyes while you're moving through the shadows, no matter what you hear. The shadow awaits. Get quick. Listen.
I hope you're ready for this. I believe our new friend has a disturbing path of living shadow. This island smells like death. Stay behind me. Whatever that gnome's been up to, it's your end. We can all be glad. That'll do. Just as Hugues thought. Then Trinio used the same wards from their old lab. This will be quick. Follow me and be careful. The lads are coming from somewhere in here.
Damn it! What's wrong? And why are there so many
Sounds like our rat is caught in a trap. I'm sure he'd be happy to help whoever saves him. That'll do. Careful, or we'll get trapped up there too. Here's where we part ways. I'll stop the lads at the stairwell. You get upstairs and retrieve Ventrinio. Shouldn't be hard to find him. Keep moving up and follow the cowardly shrieking. I'll hold this staircase. Move!
A new source of power? What sort of nonsense is this? If anything had come in here, my detection spells would have... Wait. Who's down When you get up, try not to. Damn it! Hurry! Before the whole well starts to collapse. Wait. What? It's you. You're alive. But I saw you die. It was terrible. You were the best assistant I ever had. Who else could have helped me get into Alabastra? Who else had that ambition? We got more than enough Prismere, but you wanted to track down the power source, even if it meant sneaking right under Gadflow's nose. I spent days trying to recover your body, but I never expected to find you alive, or for you to return. Speaking of which, how did you return anyway? Of course you did. You went there to steal Prismere to power the well. You wanted to go after the source of the Prismere itself. You went off, geared for war, sneaking into Baal itself. Damned fool! I had a better chance of bringing you back from the dead than I had of changing your mind. But I wasn't able to do either. Not important. Not important. What happened to you? You were so eager to be attuned to this well, and now it's not important. The well is coming down around us, and you don't even care. Ah! I've got to slow the energy and shut this thing down. We'll have time to catch up afterwards. Oh, damn it all. Here they come. Hold them off. The lads are here. Hold them off while I try to stop the flow of energy to the well. Ignore the rumbling. Focus on the lads. Anything? All my work gone. Damn it all! But at least we're still alive. Once again, I triumph over death itself. Going back into Alabaster. Well, I still have a way in, but it's more dangerous now than the last time we went. I'll need more Prismere if I'm to rebuild the well. And I suppose I owe you something for saving my life. Perhaps this talisman can help you. It's a little something I salvaged from the debris. It might just help against whatever killed you the first time. We got in with a little help, of course. See, it's all because of Callous Dren, the defender of pride. In his house, no one can stand before him. None can even approach, unless you have my little secret. Patience, patience. You'll have it soon enough. I'm going to have to dig it out of the rubble of the tower. Go to the field of Huber, and I'll meet you there. And if you value your life, Do not approach Dren. Just go to the Field of Huber and wait for me. I'll meet you down there once I can find this damned essence. I know the type. Lucky you've peeked early, then crawled into a bottle and waited to die. I'm impressed you dragged him away from that bottle, but I didn't expect him to do any heavy thinking. You mean your deadly little shadow? I know the type. All smiles now, but it's just so she can get close enough to stick her knives in you. After an unfortunate incident with the Templars, Octian decided to move my work someplace a little further from the public eye. We both felt that an island in another land behind the front lines of a war might just be far enough from prying eyes. Dren, defender of pride, one of twin defenders, quite powerful in their homes. But did you know they were also entirely immune to each other's powers? And it seems the Defender of Valor quite disappeared when her house fell. Imagine how useful she would have been if she were here today. Simple bone soldiers, easy enough for any decent mage to build and animate. They're not really alive any more than a puppet is. The Well of Souls is a noble project. Yes, sacrifices have been made. Laws have been broken. People have died. And they will continue to die. Don't you see? That's exactly what I'm trying to prevent. How many have died in this war? Thousands. The bodies are shoulder deep in the battlefields, but for trying to cure it, they call me a monster? My name is Ventrinio Dessalini, and I am Professor Emeritus Abscondus of Post-Mortem Studies at the Edessa University. Of course, that was all before I began work on the Well of Souls. Such an important undertaking doesn't leave much time for other pursuits, you know. We needed tremendous quantities of prismere to fuel the well, but it's almost unheard of outside of Alabastra, so we had to sneak in to gather our own. Octian, the man lacked vision. Can you believe all he wanted was his own personal immortality machine? Such a narrow-minded goal for a Templar. Still, he wasn't squeamish about what had to be done in order to develop the well. I suppose he paid well, too, if you consider that any reason to pursue the sciences. You don't remember it? Well, why dredge up the past? After all, you're fine now, aren't you? You're not the type to hold a grudge, right? You were my assistant in the well, and a damned good one at that. Octian hired you personally, said you were especially resourceful, and left it at that. I didn't know anything about you before you worked for me, and I knew better than to ask. You didn't like talking about yourself. Actually, you didn't like much of anything. Honestly, you were a terror to be around. But you've changed, I can tell. Before you died, you would never have been this diplomatic. You probably would have knifed me for answers by now. Oh, speaking of which, you left this in your room before you died. Take it, take it. Partial successes at best. They remember how to fight, but that's about all they're good for. Named them after an old nursery rhyme. Damn things are always moaning all the time. I thought it might shut them up to give them a name. We were in Alabastra, and I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least, not very. Oh, don't give me that look. Accidents happen. You can't make an omelette without leaving a few corpses. Gadflow's got an empire built on Prismere. Think of all the power he's sitting on. And he's wasting it on swords and bows. Fine. We were collecting Prismere and Alabastra. I tried to stop. I spent days trying to get your corpse back, but to no avail. Much as I hate to admit it, I should thank Hugues for succeeding where I failed. A horrible, messy, ugly place. Too dark to keep bodies preserved, and too hot to keep them from stinking. Oh, to be back in a cave and a tear. Arrogant fools, all of them. At least we could sneak past them when they were overconfident. Now that the army's at their gate, they'll be watching for us. He wasn't fit to hold my crucible, much less carry on my work. He could barely even stand to cut open a warm corpse for study. Can't imagine the reason you came back in his well instead of mine. Probably some freak attunement transfer. Get going.
I'll keep an eye on the gnome.
Don't go near Dre until I get there.
Hey, what are you doing out here? Caelid Coast isn't a good place for a stroll, not at all. Do I know you? You have that look. Familiar. I fought with Captain Gastier at Melsenshire. Maybe we spent a few skirmishes together. I can't remember everything that happened. Can you? We've been making good time through Cluricon. Melsenshire was the dam, and now the river is out of control. We'll be in Alabastra soon enough. It's the last bastion in Cluricon, where we expected the Tuatha to form a stiff resistance. That hasn't happened. The castles have been overrun, but that's about it. It's been pretty quiet, actually. I've spent most of my time keeping my sword sharp and hoping to spot the southern lights. That place is sharp stone, a wall. The only way we can get a force past the House of Pride and into Alabastra is to topple Ancilla. But not even the heir to that place can get inside. I heard rumors that an advanced team had been sent in to secure it, But rumours are rumours, right? If you are interested in sharing a bed with a bogan, you will want to take a stroll over to Gastier. The place is as red as they come, crammed with our big one-eyed friends. They are a magical phenomenon that occur only in the Caelid Coast. Some in the Scholia Arcana believe the lights were created by Lord Gastier's personal mage, Braxis. The story claims that after the fall of Gastier, Braxis enchanted the royal fortunes, hiding them in a spell that only the most persistent adventurer would uncover. If you believe in such rot. I cannot lie, though. The lights are gorgeous. You can see them after dark, if you stand over by the old Gastier shrine on the cliffs. Don't go too far.
Stinking swamp. And I thought Cursewood was bad.
Hi.
The hunter runs. The hunter runs. Swiftly, swiftly for our lives. A mortal skirted tree. A man leads. The hunter runs. The hunter runs. In the coffins of fading.
After all this time, I'd just assumed Enodon had abandoned me, that there was no justice left in this world. But here before me stands the hero of Melson Shear, in the skin, fresh from the Baelor's bloodying, and it appears my prayers have been answered. Tell me, how much goodwill do you have left, Honored One? A Tuatha priest named Rassanon has captured this keep. I am sworn to destroy him, for it was he who deposed House Gestir and stole their ancestral home. For 10 long years he has lived as a lord, hiding high in the royal quarters where none can reach him. At least, not without help. You see, I am Hilared Gastir, descendant of Lord Aaron Gastir and last of my family line. This castle and all within it belong to me. You will be rewarded, my friend. We Gastirs have long memories of both our friends and our enemies. Come. Rassanon knows I cannot pass through his gauntlet alone, but together we can avenge Castle Gastir. The castle has been completely ransacked by the Bolgan, and debris blocks the gate into the castle. We have to go around through the dungeons. Then I will have my revenge. Believe me, it has been far too long in coming. Hurry! Stick together. What do you need to know? What do you need to know? Hurry! Not far now. come. Who knows what Rassilon... Didn't even seem to remember me. I've given my life to finding and killing Rassilon, and he probably didn't even understand why. But now the quest is ended, here, at home. I want you to have everything of mine as a reward, and to help me forget the many years of tragedy that led me to this end. Now go. I need rest. I deserve rest. Goodbye. Nice to see you.
The Tuatha have forced their war upon us. They eagerly cut through mortal flesh and mortal bone, and as a reminder of their butchery, they display these mortal corpses throughout the land, turning sanctity into putrescence. The bodies remain on our ground and on our gallows tree, bloated and corrupt.
Excellent work. You are clearly much more proficient in the ways of war than most visitors of the Caelid Coast, even the soldiers. It would be my great pleasure. Picture it, 10 years ago. The rising sun, a lingering fog. Somewhere in the forest are screams, the cries of battle. Then silence. It happened here upon this site, the ambush of Gorn Akri. It is here on this spot where the Bolgan drew first blood, killing Lord Gastir, his son, and their squires during their morning ride. Let us move on, shall we? And if you don't mind, there are more beasts to attend to ahead. Goodbye.